And welcome back to Hannity as we are broadcasting from the Gaylord National Resort and Convention Center for this year's CPAC, which begins tomorrow. And for the first time in many years, the sitting president of the United States will be in attendance here at this conference this year. And joining us now is the counselor to the president, and might I add, the first woman in American history to ever be a campaign manager of a winning campaign. Let's welcome Kellyanne Conway. Good to see you. Come on. I can't hear you. Let's see. What's new? Anything happening lately?
Had an incredible first month with President Action, President Impact, Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, fun. You know, we've known each other for over 20 years, probably 25.
Easily.
A little easily, great.
That's the birth date of some of these people.
I know.
I'm feeling
Is that
old.
true? How many here are 20 years old or younger? Okay, I hate you. All right.
Love it.
But you know,
great.
I've known you, and I've watched. I have a list here of everything that the president has accomplished in 30 days. The list is extensive and long, and but for my show, and maybe one other show, nobody in the media has talked about the incredible pace, speed, and success of the president. Why do you think that is?
So some people talk about biased or fair coverage, or lack of fair coverage. My grievance is really full coverage. We want the complete story told. So President Trump has initiated probably about 23, 24 executive actions since he got on the job a little over a month ago, Sean. Basically, one of them has gotten all of the attention. And I think there's something called presumptive negativity. It's what is he saying? What are his advisors saying? What are they doing today? There must be something wrong with it. Must be something negative. And I just would ask people, give us a wide berth. Actually focus on what he's doing. He's keeping all these campaign promises at a quick clip. And he's never a guy who's in a rush to do the wrong thing. His entire career, which has been decidedly outside of politics and government, has been one of deliberation, of deal-making. I mean, he just absorbs information. I've never seen a more brilliant communicator, a more natural connector with individuals, with information, with issues. And he's been a transactional guy his entire life. He absorbs the information he needs. He weighs the consequences. And he's been doing that as president in the first month. But the list is long and growing. Just today, he talked about having a budget soon. He talked about Obamacare replacement coming in the next few weeks. Obviously, taxes will go hand in hand with that. We've got energy investment, trade deals being renegotiated. He's had all these roundtable discussions with everybody from CEOs to laborers to the coal miners were in last week.
The Alibaba guy?
Real impact.
The Intel
$7 billion investment that I'm told is just sitting on the shelf. So, but that's my point. I mean, there are such great stories to tell, facts and figures to put out there, stories to tell, that we just want to make sure are reaching people. But I have a lot of faith in the wisdom of the American people. They can go and pull the information themselves. It's why so many people in the mainstream media don't like the president using Twitter. Too bad. He's cutting out the middleman. It's the democratization of information where everyone can see at the same time what the President of the United States just said, what he just expressed.
You know, by the way, this is another example of fake news. I have an article here put out by CNN. Shocking. Kellyanne Conway sidelined from TV after Flynn debacle. How many days have you been booked on this show for today? You were never sidelined.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, somebody's trying to stir up trouble. But look, about 5% of what I'm being asked to do in this White House counselor role is TV. And I think that's about right, because he's the president now, and he's his own best messenger. In just the last week, he held a press conference, 77 minutes, took 17 questions. And you got that information for free, all at the same time. And then 2 days later, he was at a rally in Florida. So he's his own best messenger. We don't need to be out there all the time. There are some people, I think, trying to get in my way. I've also gobbled up a lot of other people's TV opportunities. So there's some resentment outside, on the outside, I believe, and folks just trying to use me as clickbait in a headline. But I'm there to serve the president who's there to serve the American people. And I know very clearly what the portfolio includes, what I'm doing as part of his senior team, and I'm comfortable with that. You know, in the Trump White House, we're playing long ball, long haul, and it would have been nice to have been consulted on that. I don't think I have to explain myself if I'm not going to go on TV for a week. If I'm out with 4 kids for 3 days looking at houses and schools, a lot of my colleagues aren't trying to figure out how to be a mother of 4 kids, I assure you.
Yeah, congratulations. Well, when I saw the headline, I literally have a list that is now pages long of all the fake news stories. But I read the story today, and I'm like, well, that's impossible because she's booked on my show.
And the show's tomorrow. And
yeah, I know.
It's not even worth arguing because it actually doesn't bother us. You know, some things are really, really small, and the presidency and Donald Trump in the presidency and Vice President Pence there, that's really, really big. They're going to do things that impact people's lives. And I have to tell you, all those statistics you give every single night on your show, every day on the radio, Sean, I know those statistics are going to improve under this president and vice president. That's why I'm here, that's why you're here, and that's why it's a future shared by all.
And I honestly think the key to any political success is keeping your promises. And we see this unfolding and happening every day. And I just think that you have a lot of fierce opposition out there, and this is real. This is organized. I would argue money is behind it. I would even argue that probably Obama is stirring. Remember, he was encouraging all the protests? That's what he said publicly. I have to wonder what he might... Yes, Soros. And I have to wonder what he might be doing privately. But, you know, the main thing is if you are able to get Americans back to work and back out of poverty and off of food stamps, and you're able to make us energy independent and give us a better health care system and secure the country through vetting and walls, to me, that would be so refreshing. So my question is about Congress. I talk about the speed of Trump and the pathetically slow speed of Congress. I had Speaker Ryan on my show, and I asked him very pointed questions. When is this going to be done? He said legislatively in 200 days, and he's consulting with the White House. Are you confident that it will all be done as you want it in 200 days, the president wants?
In my view, President Trump, just his sheer pace of action ups everybody else's game. I mean, he is setting the agenda, the tone, the content, the pace, and you can't help when you're around him to want to try to even meet those expectations and those goals and that pace. I know that Speaker Ryan and Leader McConnell and the other leaders in the House and Senate are very hard at work and working very closely with the White House on a number of measures. But I will tell you one thing.
How many of you trust them?
I will tell you one thing. I trust them to do the right thing. And I'll tell you one thing. It's called causation, not coincidence, that the electorate at this time ended divided government. They were so tired of the excuse of divided government from both sides. Oh, we can't do X and Y even though we promised because we don't have the White House. Oh, we can't do X and Y even though we promised because we don't have the Congress.
Now they have.
They have it all now. They have most of the governorships. They have most of the state legislatures. And that's not a mistake. That's not a fluke. That's the electorate saying we actually want action, not impediment.
We got to take a break. Kellyanne